Hello, class. Are you ready for another exciting grammar video? Yeah, I think you are. Well, you've come to the right place because today we're going to study the past perfect and the past perfect progressive. One thing I want to tell you about the past perfect and past perfect progressive. The past perfect and past perfect progressive are used, They are used to describe or to talk about two actions in the past, two events that occur in the past in relationship to each other. Whereas, and in addition to that, past perfect progressive talks about a continuing action when another action occurs in the past. All right, so let's just get straight into it. Let's talk about the formula first. For the past perfect, you have your subject, had, and your past participle. Had and not have, which is very important because it's not your present perfect, okay? So, I had arrived in the U.S. by then. You had become famous by then. Now, by then is how what we use to talk about a specific event or time. We can say by then. We can say by 1987, by 2010. We can choose different ways to say that, but we use by then very often. Let me show this to you on a scale here. Okay? So, I don't know if you can read it, but this is the past, now, the present, and the future. We have one time on the one time that says begin lessons, and then we have 1986 and begin lessons. Now the sentence is, by 1986, Dudamel had begun violin lessons. Let me explain this to you. So 1986 is the second event on the timeline. So by this time in the past, because this is now. So by 1986 in the past, Dudamel had already begun his violin lessons. That is how we use the past perfect. Okay? Now, when you ask a question in the past perfect, you just invert these two. So instead of saying subject had, you put had first. Had subject. Had you arrived in the U.S. by then? Okay? That's a yes-no question. For questions that are responded to with a yes or no. Yes, I had. No, I hadn't. If you want a WH question, we just add the WH word, question word, before the had. When had you arrived in the U.S.? We would not say by then, because by then is the answer. All right? So we would say, when had you arrived? And the answer would be, I had arrived by 1986. Okay? That's past perfect. Now, let's take a look at past perfect progressive. Musical intermission. Okay. Past perfect progressive. It talks about a continuing action in the past and another action like interrupting that or happening after this progress was already started. Okay? Same formula. Subject, had, base verb plus ing, because progressive always needs to be. Okay? So you have I had been playing the guitar by then, for example. I had not been playing the guitar by then. So your not comes after the had. Same construction, same concept. If you have a question that's yes, no, you're going to invert the order. Okay? I forgot what my question was for them. Let me look again. The question is, had you been playing the guitar? Oh, yeah. Had you been playing the guitar by then? Yes, I had been playing the guitar. No, I hadn't. You can just say, yes, I had. No, I hadn't. We'd put a WH question. When had you been playing the guitar, for example? We'd change it to WH if it was necessary. Okay? So it's the same exact construction as the past perfect, but it means something different. So let's look at the timeline so I can show you what it means. Okay? It means that there's one continuing action. In this case, we're going to say had been conducting. There's one continuing action. starts at 1998, and there's another point, 2010. I don't know if you can see it. It might be a little too small. This one is 1998. This one is 2010. So there's 2 points. Okay. Let's look at the sentence. By 2010, by this action point, by 2010, Dudamel had been conducting, so this had already started. Dudamel had been conducting an orchestra for 12 years. So by 2010, he had been conducting an orchestra for 12 years. It started at this particular point, the action was continuing, and there was another action that occurred in the middle of that duration. That's how we use past perfect progressive. Okay? One more thing. Let me tell you one more thing. There's one other way that we use the past perfect progressive and past perfect, and we use it with the simple past. And this is relationship between two past events. When you want to focus on the relationship between two past events. Let me show you this sentence here. He had been living in Venezuela when he won, simple past, a competition in Germany. So he had been living in Venezuela when he won a competition in Germany. Okay? So here I want to show you something. We have had been living, that's your past perfect progressive, and we have won, which is simple past. All right. When you have a continuing event, living in Venezuela, and then you want to show the relationship to another event that happened while he was living in Venezuela, we use this event in simple past. So the continuing event is he had been living in Venezuela. That is your past perfect progressive. We enter a time clause signal when he won the competition in Germany. Now, we'll focus on this a little bit more in class a little later, but let's talk about your homework, okay? This is what I want you to do tonight and then bring it to class. I want you to make a timeline. This is a timeline. On your timeline, I want 7 years, at least. Maybe 1892. Well, that's, okay, 1992, 1997, 2000, 1999 to 2000, 2005, 2010, 2015, 2018. Okay? So you make a timeline, but it's going to be about someone famous, your favorite singer, your favorite actress, someone famous. And I want you to point out 7 events in their life. That's all. So you make a timeline about your famous person and point out 7 events in their life with the date. So do a quick Google search of important events in that person's life. Bring it to class tomorrow. We will use it in class tomorrow. So bring it. All right. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Happy learning. Bye-bye.